This is News Hour on Ifako Radio. Good morning, I'm Olanireti Ololade. The major headlines. Police deploy special forces ahead of NLC protest today. Petrol battlefield. ICPC plans NMD PRA bus probe after Dangote petition. Blackout looms as gas shortfall hits power stations. US expands travel restrictions, add Nigeria to list of countries. Tinubu meets Labour leaders over proposed protest. Sports. I called Buhari to get 2018 World Cup bonus. Mikel. Entertainment. Afrobeat star Fola apologizes after first headline show ends abruptly. Regina must undergo drug rehab before access to children. Ned Nwoko. TikToker Jarvis confirms breakup with Bella. Urges public support. News in detail. Police deployed special forces ahead of NLC protest today. Ahead of today's nationwide protest by Nigeria Labour Congress, the police has mobilized special forces and tactical teams to ensure a violence-free demonstration. State police commanders in separate interviews on Tuesday confirmed their readiness to tackle miscreants and political hirelings who may want to disrupt their rallies. The NLC has stated that it would not retract its planned nationwide protests, which were called in response to the escalating insecurity in the country and other labor issues. When asked if the NLC has mobilized its affiliate unions for the rallies, the spokesperson for the Congress, Benson Upah, stated, "We are going on with the protest across the country. He warned that any attempt to interfere with today's National Day of Protest and Mourning could spark a nationwide indefinite strike." Upah, in a statement on Tuesday, explained that the union has received intelligence suggesting that unscrupulous agencies and desperate political hirelings might try to infiltrate or violently disrupt demonstrations. He added that harming even a single worker or citizen would trigger an immediate and indefinite shutdown across all sectors of the economy. Petrol battlefield. ICPC plans NMDPRA bus probe after Dangote's petition. The Nigerian oil and gas sector has been thrown into fresh controversy as the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has declared that it will investigate a petition lodged against the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, by the chairman of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote. Dangote, in a petition submitted on December 16, 2025, through his lawyer Ogu Onoja, called on the ICPC to investigate, prosecute, and potentially arrest Ahmed over allegations of corruption and financial impropriety. The petition claims that Ahmed spent more than $7 million on the education of his 4 children in Switzerland, reportedly paid upfront for a 6-year period, without any lawful source of income to justify such expenditure. That engineer Farouk Ahmed has grossly abused his office, contrary to the extant provisions of the Code of Conduct for Public Officers, and by so doing, immersed himself in monumental corruption and unlawful spending of public funds running into millions of dollars. That engineer Farouk Ahmed spent, without evidence of lawful means of income, a humongous sum of over $7 million of public funds on the education of his 4 children in different schools in Switzerland for a period of 6 years upfront, the petition stated. Dangote named the children and 3 schools they attend, providing the alleged amounts paid for each to enable verification by the ICPC. He further accused Ahmed of diverting public funds for personal gain through the instrumentality of the NMDPRA, an action the billionaire business claims has spurred public outrage and recent protests by civil society groups. Blackout looms as gas shortfall hits power stations. Nigeria may celebrate the Yuletide in darkness, how the federal government takes no further steps to defray the gas to power debt, as gas companies has begun cutting supplies to power plants, the development already affecting electricity generation nationwide. On Tuesday, the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company informed customers across the southeast of the situation in a statement issued by its group head, Corporate Communications, Emeka Eze. According to EEDC, the drop in power supply availability is due to low system frequency, said to have been occasioned by gas constraints affecting generation companies. The disclosure disclosed that the situation has necessitated load shedding of available energy by the Transmission Company of Nigeria. As a result, EEDC said development has impacted energy allocation to it and reduced the daily service level to customers served by the subsidiary companies, Mainpower, Transpower, Test Power, New Era, and Fastland. US expands travel restrictions, add Nigeria to list of countries. President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed a proclamation further restricting entry to the United States for nationals from countries deemed high risk due to demonstrated, persistent, and severe deficiencies in screening, vetting, and information sharing that threaten U.S. national security and public safety. Among the 15 additional countries newly subject to partial restriction is Nigeria. The announcement comes directly from the White House website in a fact sheet citing President Donald J. Trump. Further restricts and limits the entry of foreign nationals to protect the security of the United States, issued December 16, 2025. Trump had earlier on October 31 declared Nigeria as a country of particular concern in response to allegations of a Christian genocide in the country. The African Union chief said there was no genocide in Nigeria's volatile north, and so did ECOWAS, addressing the recent surge in terrorist attacks across the region, including Nigeria, while firmly rejecting claims that this act constitutes genocide. Over and over, Tinubu days ago again dismissed claims that there is a Christian genocide in the country, insisting that neither Christians nor Muslims are being targeted for killing. Tinubu meets Labour leaders over proposed protest. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday night met with the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress amid plans by organized Labour to stage a nationwide protest over unresolved demands. The meeting, which took place at the State House Abuja, followed growing tensions between the federal government and Labour Union over issues bordering on workers' welfare, rising cost of living, and implementation of previously agreed concessions. Confirming the meeting, the statement issued on Tuesday night, the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to the President, Bayo Onanga, disclosed that key stakeholders were in attendance. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu met with the leadership of the NLC, along with the chairman of Progressive Governors Forum, Uzodinma, Governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebulu, and Governor of Kebbi State, Dr. Nasir Idris, and the Minister of State Labour, Honorable Nkeruka Onyejiocha, the statement partly read. Sports. I called Buhari to get 2018 World Cup bonus, Mikel. Former Super Eagles captain John Obi Mikel has revealed that he contacted the office of the late Nigerian president, Muhammadu Buhari, to ensure players receive their bonuses after the 2018 World Cup in Russia, after months of delays by Nigeria Football Federation. Speaking on an episode of the Obi-Wan podcast released on Tuesday, Mikel said Nigeria's players were owed money earned from qualifying for the tournament and that repeated assurances from officials failed to materialize once the team arrived in camp. Talking about fighting for players' bonuses, I went above the president of the NFF to get those bonuses, which is what I did a couple of times during the World Cup, Mikel said. He explained that FIFA released what is known as pari-cheese money ahead of one major tournament, which is meant to be shared among players, while federations typically borrow funds to settle bonuses early before repaying lenders once FIFA payments arrive. Leading up to the World Cup, we were owed money, he said. After first headline show ends abruptly. 2025 Afrobeats breakout singer Folarin Odulami, with the stage name Fola, has apologized to fans following the abrupt end of his first headline performance at the mainland block party, which was altered over safety concerns after the venue reportedly exceeded its capacity. The event held on Monday, December 15th at the Balmoral Event Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Victoria Highland, Lagos, was disrupted after a large influx of fans led to overcrowding, rowdiness, and reported safety breaches. Attendance was said to have surpassed the venue's approved capacity, prompting organizers to stop the show. Several fans at the venue complained of poor coordination, with some ticket holders saying they were unable to gain access despite purchasing tickets sold in batches by the organizers. Fola, who performed briefly before leaving the stage, later addressed the situation in an apology message shared on his X account on Tuesday. Regina must undergo drug rehab before access to children, Ned Nwoko. Senator Ned Nwoko has disputed recent social media posts by his estranged wife, actress Regina Daniels, regarding their children, insisting that they have not been hidden from her and that her absence has been by choice. He noted that a court has already addressed the matter, directing Daniels to undergo rehabilitation and be assessed by the Abuja Social Welfare Department before access to their children can be restored. In a statement shared on his X account by his communications team on Tuesday, Nwoko described Daniels' post as misleading and inconsistent with long-established family practice. The recent post by Regina presents a version of events that is both misleading and inconsistent with long-established family practice. Publicly sharing moments involving the children has never been new, unusual, or controversial within the family, the statement said. TikToker Jarvis confirms breakup with Pella, urges public support. TikTok content creator Elizabeth Amadua, also known as Jarvis, has confirmed that she has ended her relationship with fellow influencer and live streamer Amzat Abib, popularly known as Pella, while appealing to the public to stop mocking him following his recent car crash during a live stream. Jarvis made the disclosure in a live video shared online on Tuesday, amid widespread reactions to Pella's hospitalization after the incident on the Lekki Ekpe Expressway in Lagos. Addressing online commentary surrounding the crash and the couple's relationship, Jarvis said public ridicule was worsening the situation. It's always people who mock me, because I can see concerns about this online. People will mock him. Stop mocking him. Stop shading him, she said. She insisted that the incident should not be used to define Pella's character, stressing that she never portrayed him as a bad person. Jarvis acknowledged that Pella struggles with emotional control, describing it as a core issue rather than malice. Yes, he cannot control his emotions. He cannot control. That's the problem. I can control mine, but he can't control his. We need to join hands together to help him, she said. Confirming that they are no longer together, Jarvis said the breakup was necessary and should not be misconstrued as abandonment. Recap of the major headlines. Police deploy special forces ahead of NLC protest today. Petrol battlefield. ICPC plans NMDPRA bus probe after Dangote's petition. Blackout looms as gas shortfall hits power stations. US expense travel restriction Adds Nigeria to list of countries. Tinubu meets Labour leaders over proposed protest. Sports. I called Buhari to get 2018 World Cup bonus. Mikel. Entertainment. Afrobeat star Fola apologizes after first headline show ends abruptly. Regina must undergo drug rehab before access to children. Ned Nwoko. TikToker Jarvis confirms breakup with Pella. Urges public support. Follow us on all our social media handles. Facebook at Ifako Radio, YouTube at Ifako Radio, WhatsApp at Ifako Radio, X at Ifako Radio, Instagram at Ifako_radio. For news reporting, contact us at ifakoradio@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp 091 2222 7433. Special thanks to the news producer Olanireti. Thanks for watching. I'm Olanireti Ololade. Have a wonderful Wednesday. God bless Ifako.